Hey there, this is Dustin from Brand Personalization, and I just wanted to make a quick video. We had some misconceptions that we wanted to cover a little bit, and also whenever we posted the link building package, we got a whole lot of questions. So I just wanted to cover, a few quick things and also a quick little case study too. So when most people get into, the concept of what do I need to do to get my site to rank, they start reading a lot of tutorials or blog posts or courses or what have you. And there's a lot of things that people say that's important and it's really not. People get into meta tags and title tags and all this other stuff that at first seems very confusing. And to an extent it is important, but not to the point where you need to obsess over it. If you're running your website on the WordPress platform and you have an all-in-one SEO plugin, that in itself is going to cover about 95% of your on-site SEO. So anything else, don't worry about it. And the reason I say that is because off-site SEO is the most important key. You can actually rank any website just with the power of backlinks. So, if you're in a highly competitive niche, then you may want to focus on doing the on-site tweaks a little bit just for a little bit of a boost. But if you want to play with this a little bit, you can Google the term "click here." Whenever you search for "click here," you're going to see at the very top it's going to be Adobe Reader. Okay, if you click on Adobe Reader, you'll notice that there is nowhere on that page the term "click here." It's not in the title, it's not in the title tags, it's not in the text areas, it's just not there. The reason is Google is going to use an algorithm for trust. So whatever people use in their backlinks, it's actually contextual links, linking back to a website. They're going to build trust in whatever people use in those tags. So in the case of Adobe Reader, it just so happened that the majority of the people that link to Adobe Reader use the term "click here." So with millions and millions of search results, they rank first. So focus more on the offsite SEO, and as far as on-site, just focus on good content. They say content is king. If that's the case, then backlinks are queen. So let me get into it a little bit more with a friend of mine. I was helping her rank her site. So as you can see, Joe only had about 15 backlinks coming back to her site. So her site was established, but the fact that she didn't have any links coming back, she didn't have any rankings whatsoever. So even if someone would search for her actual name, she would rank a little bit. But as far as any type of broad terms, as far as social media optimization or social media management, it just wasn't there. So I went ahead and did a few screenshots as a before and after. So I set up a campaign for 3 different keywords. The first was for social media management. As you can see, she's not on there. She's not even in the top 100. So with this, we were concerned a little bit because there was an exact match keyword domain, and then it was the same when we went into social media managing. It was the same site at the top, but she still wasn't in the top 100. And then when you get into social media manager, you'll notice that it actually triggers the map. Usually the maps are going to rank number 1, because whenever a local business has those keywords in their description, Google is going to find that highly relevant. So in this case, you'll notice that the website is actually ranking above the maps, which basically says that Google thinks that that website is more relevant than the places themselves, even though it's the exact same thing. So, get into a little bit of afters for some fun. You'll notice 3 days later, I got her the number 1 and the number 2 spot. So, that's kind of unheard of, but there's not that many search results. There's a little over 3 million. So, it was a little competitive, but not high. But this is the area that I usually focus with when it comes to local marketing, because these kind of results I can always get. In some areas such as LA, you have extremely competitive keywords like for plastic surgery and things like this. It will take a little bit more, but for the majority of the businesses out there, this is all it's going to take. So just go on to the next keyword. As you know, social media managing, again, number 1. And then let's see what happens with the maps. What do you know? She's on top again in 3 days. So most people would say that that's impossible, but it all depends on the linking network and the power behind it. So just want to get into a little bit. When it comes to backlinks, a lot of people that start to learn a little bit about SEO learn that backlinks are very important. But the biggest thing that nobody learns is the fact that it's actually more important to backlink your backlinks than it is for your backlinks themselves. So it's not just the quantity of backlinks, it's the quality and the power of those backlinks. So you can have a few PR or PageRank 5 sites that's going to outrank a website with hundreds of PR0 or PR1 just because of the trust rank. So it's a little bit more involved in that, but still, if you backlink the backlinks or add extra links to the links that are coming back, then that's going to ensure that the original backlinks coming back to your site are going to have traction and be indexed in Google. So I want to talk about the backlink packages a little bit, because there was a little bit of confusion and some people don't really understand what we're doing here. So basically what we'll do is we'll set up, in some cases it's a few hundred, in other cases it's several thousand accounts, for Web 2.0s or social media accounts or blog platforms or forums or whatever it takes. And then from there we'll shoot off articles to a few hundred directories, and then we'll send off 400 or 500 press releases. Basically the variety is key. If you just have blog comments or you just have social media links or profile links, then that raises some flags with Google, because it's not natural. They know that that's not going to happen in the real world, so whenever they see it, they know that someone's up to something. Plus, in the case like the site that's up now, it looks like, in Google's eyes anyway, that they launched a campaign and then it just went viral real quick, because it's on so many different platforms all at once. It's not just on profile links or forum profiles or anything like that. It's spread against 6-7 different types of backlinks. So with that variety, it looks more natural. Plus the fact that they were done under different accounts shows that other people were driving that traffic. So there's a lot of things that people really don't understand with backlinks, but one thing I want to get out there that nobody really knows about, it's actually the power of the backlinking system that's more important than anything. And I'll show you what I mean by that. It's a little scrunched up, so hopefully you can see it. But a few days after I did the screenshot of her being on top, you'll notice that brandpersonalization.com is actually above her. And then down towards the bottom, you'll see brand personalization, but the domain is actually localbusiness.es. So the whole name's local businesses. What I wanted to point out there is that website hasn't even launched yet, and it's already ranking all over the world for key terms. So the fact that it was just linked to the network, it started ranking itself. So to get into the package a little bit, just so you can understand a little bit more about what it is and what we're actually doing and providing. With the package,